Hello guys, welcome back with another video. Today we have what if Sasuke ate the Udo no Mi model Sarayu, or what if Sasuke ate Kaido's Devilfruit for short. That's why I put it in the title and say it every time. But nevertheless, before we start, as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly enjoy. Also, don't forget sharing does always help. And with that, play that intro.
Every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Fuck me, I'm looking in the mirror, so foggy, but I've never seen clearer. I don't really think anyone can save me, and honestly I'm not really sure I want saving. I like to be my own worst enemy. There's no risk if you don't try at anything, so I'ma just keep buying everything. See you in the next life, have to be a better me. I don't think that my head's on straight, gotta flip it and grip it and go and get an x-ray. What's wrong with me? I just feel weight pushing on my chest and it's
Hey, starting things off with Naruto's return to the village, and the usual of him meeting up with everyone and realizing that they've all surpassed him in rank, which Sasuke takes a moment to tease Naruto about. But besides that, the second bell test will still happen. This will go in Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura's favor, them quickly overpowering Kakashi and forcing him to use his Mangekyo Sharingan for him to keep up. But Naruto and Sasuke have more tricks up their sleeve, bringing out, well, for Naruto, one-tail cloak in stage 1 of the curse mark for Sasuke, as the battle ends in a three-way between Sasuke's Chidori, well, Black Chidori, Naruto's Vermilion Rasengan, and Kakashi's own Chidori, which Naruto and Sasuke would win. As the three bells fall off Kakashi's vest, where they are each grabbed by Sakura, as after Kakashi would congratulate them on their victory. Okay, with that over, we move on to the Kazekage rescue mission arc. The beginning plays out the same, with Team 7 being sent to rescue Gaara, and Team Guy later sent as backup. As from here, the stuff in the village remains the same, and so we move on to the encounter with the 30% clones, I believe. Of course, Team 7 would still encounter the Itachi clone, which Sasuke would be all too eager to face himself. And Itachi this time would actually acknowledge its presence, with Sasuke mentioning that his powers has doubled since last time, and charging a Black Chidori in his hand as he jumps straight at Itachi, who would acknowledge that he's actually much faster than before then trying to play Sasuke under a Genjutsu, which actually works. He basically see the sight of his dead parents, well, before they died, in about a few minutes before the Uchiha massacre, and actually what seems to be the context of their death, and some of the truth behind the Uchiha massacre, as Sasuke would be, well, confused at first. But Sasuke is soon broken out by the rest of the group and sees that the battle is finished, ending the same way in canon, with Naruto's Flamingo Dama Rasengan into that one Sand Ninja's chest, and it's revealed that the clone is, of course, a fake. Sasuke is soon scolded by Kakashi, but he soon notices that Sasuke is a bit out of it and would ask if he's alright, with Sasuke soon snapping back to reality and saying that he's fine, just that Genjutsu was a hard one to handle, as Kakashi would say okay, or the group would head off to, of course, the Akatsuki's base. And eventually they do arrive at the base's location along with Team Guy, and they start to make a plan on how to, well, release this seal, and eventually that plan is enacted basically the same way as in canon, and soon the Team Guy has to fight the clones of themselves. That basically goes as in canon, as we move on to Team 7 versus the Akatsuki, which they are left to deal with. As Deidara still flies off, with Sasuke, Kakashi, and Naruto joining suit and flying after him, Sasuke transforming into a dragon and Naruto and Sasuke hopping on his head, because that's a funny image. As from here, Sakura and Chi are left to deal with Sasori, which that basically plays out the same as in canon, with Sakura getting her first and I believe probably only victory. Unless you count the Zetsus and the Ten-Tail stuff. But besides that, just the her only victory that was handed to her. They do get some useful information on how Sasori was going to meet up with Kabuto, so that's great. Kakashi, Sasuke, Naruto versus Deidara would happen. Well, it would be more of a chase scene as the three are quickly gaining on Deidara, who tries launching a few explosives at Sasuke primarily since, take the beast down. These mainly do nothing, as Naruto would try throwing the Rasen Shuriken at Deidara, who narrowly dodges it, but is soon surprised as the thing would suddenly expand, which leaves his other arm cut off in a giant gash to the side of his chest, leading to Deidara coughing up some blood as Sasuke would take this opportunity to use a Kamui that would stun Obito in place. Sasuke finishing him off by blasting him with a powerful blast breath that ends up incinerating Deidara. Well, he's not vaporized, but he's just left on the ground with dozens of burns. Well, falling to the ground. As Naruto will go to catch Gaara, who luckily wasn't incinerated with him, as Sasuke would make sure he wouldn't have been incinerated. So he's just fine with Deidara's kind of nearly dead corpse landing on the ground, as he's kind of just left there to die. But from here, Team Guy eventually arrives to see the situation is taken care of, and all of them go back to the field where Chio and Sakura are there, and it's soon revealed that Gaara is kinda dead. And so this still leads to Chio reviving him with Naruto's help, and basically all's well that ends well, except for Chio's death. But besides that, the rest of the arc continues on the same, with Gaara being welcomed back to the village and Team 7 and Team Guy soon leaving. Just that now Kakashi isn't too tired since he only had to bust out Kamui once. The team soon returns to the village and Sakura reports the information she learned from Sasori, with Tsunade then entrusting this mission to Team 7 once again. Sasuke will be hanging out with Naruto when he meets up with Shikamaru and Choji, where they do have their encounter with Sai, leading to Sasuke easily assisting in that encounter as Sai would end up getting away. Still, there's no Yamato since Kakashi would be just fine to go out on this mission. Sai would join due to Danzo's insistence, so that basically remains the same with him, which Sasuke would find especially suspicious since Danzo might have been behind the Uchiha massacre, but it did come from Itachi. As from here, their journey to Tenchi still remains the same. They're still bonding with Sai. Sakura still gets along with him pretty well. There would be a better relationship between him and Naruto since he doesn't battle Sasuke in this timeline. And Sasuke overall just doesn't mind Sai, although at night sometimes he does feel like he's being watched, warning Kakashi to keep an eye on Sai, which he would agree to, although asking why, and Sasuke stating that he doesn't have a good feeling about him. As the team soon does arrive at Tenchi Bridge, Kakashi would transform into Sasori and has a talk with Kabuto that ends until Orochimaru comes and Kabuto slices Kakashi on the arm, which he narrowly avoids, as this transforms him back into Kakashi, which actually shocks Kabuto. Of course, Naruto, Sakura, Sai, and Sasuke all jump out of the bushes to assist Kakashi, and a battle soon breaks out between the two groups. With Naruto never actually going foretells, this meaning that the battle would actually be going in the Leaf Ninja's favor, as Orochimaru and Kabuto are immediately put on the back foot as they are outnumbered and overpowered. And after a while of fighting get out, also Sasuke would get some offers from Orochimaru to join him, which he would reject. Eventually, Orochimaru does call in the Sound 4 for assistance, with them all transform into their stage 2 curse marks, as by now I would decide to show his true colors and ends up assisting Orochimaru in battling the team. Now the tables being turned on them as they are now outnumbered and overpowered. This leading to Naruto going into his three-tailed cloak now, while Sasuke goes into his hybrid form and also mixes the curse mark with it, as Kakashi is left to activate his Mangekyo Sharingan, and Sakura remains Sakura. But this does help Naruto to be able to take on the Sound 4 by himself, along with Sakura acting as support, him also summoning a bunch of shadow clones, and just spams about a dozen Rasen Shurikens, but it kind of just vaporized them all. Well, Vermilion Rasen Shurikens in this case. Kind of just vaporizes them all in one big blue explosion. So now part of that bridge and the land is permanently destroyed. As Sasuke and Kakashi end up battling Kabuto, Sai, and Orochimaru, with Naruto soon joining back in the fray to assist along with Sakura. Sasuke will leave a giant hole in Kabuto's chest with a blast breath that takes him out the fight. This leads to Orochimaru relying on a bunch of summonings to actually help him, including even Manda, which Naruto would need to summon Gamabunta to help out for. Also some of the other toads we saw Jiraiya use, whose name I can't remember. This doesn't help save him as he is soon really overwhelmed and is running really low on options here. So he ends up using, I think they were called the 3 deity gates. The gates that look like a bunch of Oni were on them. Naruto ended up using a Rasengan barrage once again with a bunch of Naruto clones charging the gates and starting to destroy most of them. About destroying 2 before Sasuke and Kakashi end up both using Chidori on the 3rd one, which breaks through it. And soon they both stab Orochimaru in the chest, causing him to cough up a lot of blood as he soon dies. As the mission is now a smash success, although when they do look back, Kabuto is kinda gone, so not exactly 100% successful, but they got rid of Orochimaru, so things should be alright. But now the question is what to do with Sai. Well, we'll take care of that next part, as that will end off today's video. As always, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and of course don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and see you next time. Peace.